Okay, so welcome to today's bridal testal trial. We are testing out lots of new products. Today's version is a little more modernized. We got some glitter going on. If you want to see how I got this look, go ahead and keep watching. Okay, so for foundation, I'm using a mixture of two different shades. This is the Pacifica Alight Clean Foundation. I already know I like this. The only thing is I can't come up with my right shade. So I typically will mix 26 neutral medium and 23 neutral medium. I'm going to take a pump of each. So you can see like right away, it's really yellow. I definitely bought it without testing it in the store. It's a beautiful foundation. It makes everything so smooth. The coverage is really good, but I just can't find my right shade. It does smell a little bit sunscreeny, but I've never had an issue with flashback with this foundation. I'm gonna go in with the second shade, and I'm trying out a new sponge and I actually hate it. This is the e.l.f. something sponge. I can't remember what exactly it's called, but I actually hate it. It soaks up so much product. This foundation, like what I love about it is the finish is so nice. First of all, it's very smoothing. Like it really helps cover and just blur everything out. Also, the finish is not too matte, it's not too dewy, so I know it's gonna last on me. Okay, so for concealer, I'm using the Instant Age Rewind corrector from Maybelline. So I love this. It looks really nice. It doesn't have any flashback problems, which I wish the e.l.f. didn't flash back so bad because it is so freaking high coverage. Okay, so I'm just gonna go in and blend this out. And in case anyone didn't know, I actually am getting married. I am doing my own makeup and I'm still like on the fence about what exactly I want to do. So today I'm testing out like a more fun, modernized kind of look. There's a little bit of glitter. I still do think that like the classic matte brown look is so pretty. So this is actually like a real test for me too. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. We're now going to go in with this Best Blend Forever makeup in the shade 180 Natural Tan. And I'm just gonna cream contour a little bit with this. I feel like cream contouring really helps your bronzer, like it looks a lot more natural just because you can see it kind of coming from within almost. Now I'm gonna go in with a powder. I'm gonna use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent Powder mixed with my Laura Mercier translucent powder. And the reason I like to mix these is sometimes I feel like the Laura Mercier can look a little bit yellowy, and I know the Wet n Wild doesn't do that, but they're both so beautiful. I'm gonna mix them together, and then I'm just gonna take some on my sponge and just go underneath the eyes to set everything. And I'm gonna let it bake for a minute too. So we look psychotic. So if you're someone who has larger pores like me, baking can really help with that. Instead of using a brush, I'll just take my damp sponge that I've been using. I'll press it into the under eyes and this larger pore cheek area, and that'll really help kind of fill everything in, which sounds bad, like you don't really want to be filling in your face, but the Clarisonic gets it out good. So I'm going to the rest of the face while that's kind of setting in. So just pounce on top of that to kind of wipe everything away, all of the excess. So next for bronzer, I'm going to go in with the Makeup Revolution Mega Bronzer in the shade 1 Cool. So I'm going to take the same brush I always do and just kind of press in. And then we'll press in right on top of that contour we have. She's dark. Okay. Okay, I'm going to just try and blend all of this out. Okay, so it looks pretty good on this side. This side I'm literally going to ignore because I applied way too much without knowing. So the rest of my face, I'm just going to tap in with this soft brush, tap everything off, and then I'll go in on the forehead a little bit. Okay, so next for eyeshadow, I got this little LA Girl tiny little baby palette. It's really cute. So it looks like this. Let me open it up and you can see shades. So this is what the inside looks like. I thought they were really traditional bridal-y colors. And then I also got this Brilliant Eyes Liquid Shadow, and it's like a white, pearly, pretty shade. So I'm gonna try and top it with this. So first thing I'm gonna do is take my JH32 brush and go into, so I'm going into this shade here. It's kind of a warm taupey color. And just start placing this in the crease. Okay, so next going in with a different brush. This is an Anastasia something. It just looks like this. It's one that like came in her palette. So then I'm gonna go into this kind of gray cooler shade here. And I'm gonna go a little bit lower than that first shade. So now I'm going in with a smaller brush about this size. It's a JH40. And I'm gonna go into this deep dark shade down here. And I'm gonna focus this right on the edge of this outer V. Okay, so we have it deepened up pretty well. I'm now gonna go in with my original brush that I used, and I'm gonna go back into this because I kind of covered it up a little bit and I wanna make sure that shows through. Okay, so next, before I do this liquid shadow, I wanna do brows just so I know what I'm actually looking like. And with this, I'm trying to go extremely natural. I'm scared that when I look back on my pictures, I'm gonna be like, so now I'm gonna test out this liquid shadow. So it looks really pretty. So that's what it looks like on the back of my hand. It's just white and then it has like some almost holographic looking sparkles in it. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm gonna apply this on the lid. Okay, I definitely need a brush. Yeah. Let me calm down. Let me get a brush. I'm definitely gonna let it dry a little bit before I kind of blend out the edges. For now, I'm gonna go in with some blush, and I am using the e.l.f. Always Rosy Blush. I'm gonna take my e.l.f. blush brush. So for highlight, I'm using the Wet n Wild Petal highlighter. And I don't want to apply a lot of this just because I feel like I love highlight, but I'm scared that it's like a trend, I guess. And I don't want to look back and be like, what was I doing? So I'm using my LA Girl Perfect Precision liner in the shade Flesh, and I'm just gonna line with this. Okay, and then I have this new Makeup Revolution matte liquid lip in the shade Crush. So I'm gonna try this out. So this is what the shade looks like, very cute. Okay, so to finish up the eyes, I'm gonna go back in with this warm shade here and kind of go over all of the edges. Okay, so the last thing I want to do is finish off the look with some lashes. So I'm going to do that off camera and we'll be all done. Okay, so I did just go ahead and tightline my lower lash line with that darkest shade in the palette. And then last thing I want to do is just take this kind of bone shade, this one here, and just go in on the inner corner. Just a little bit to brighten it up. Okay, so that is going to complete today's bridal makeup look. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. I am going to be doing more of these to see what I'm actually going to do for my wedding day. If there's any other video you'd like to see, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys next time.